Today I fucked up by unleashing a stream of butt juice into my face. I'm a dog owner. Dogs are wonderful creatures and I love my two dogs. Dogs are also disgusting sometimes. Today, my dog was scooting her butt across the floor and kept biting at her butt. Oh boy. For the uninitiated, dogs have anal glands just inside their butthole that are naturally supposed to release butt scent when they poo. Sometimes these glands get clogged and swollen and that's when a dog will scoot or sometimes randomly spew butt juice on your furniture. This butt juice stinks. Not just like dog poo, mind you. This shit stinks like concentrated rotting fish. Seeing my dog biting her butt, I knew it meant an issue with her anal glands. Enter YouTube. A friendly veterinarian put together a helpful video on how to express your dog's anal glands. Now, in this video, when the vet does it, there's just a few drops that come out of the dog's butt. Okay, that's not so bad. So my wife and I drew straws for who would have to squeeze the dog's butt. I lost. I take my dog outside and first we have a little chat. Dookie, this is going to be an awkward and uncomfortable experience for both of us. I want you to understand that I don't want to be here any more than you do, but you clearly need help. So let's do it. I had wrapped my arms in two large trash bags for safety's sake. I position my dog in front of me and lift her tail. I put my fingers like the vet did in the video and squeeze. Well, turns out I'm a goddamn natural at the technique because it worked on the first try. A large, putrid, black stream of anal gland juice shot out of Suki's asshole, straight into my face. A concentrated stream of putrid, rotten fish stinking ass juice straight from my dog's asshole, on my face. My hair pooled in my eyebrows. Ass juice. Dog ass juice. I immediately started screaming and my wife rushed outside to see what was wrong and straight up peed herself laughing at my putrid ass juice face. I've scrubbed my face with dish soap and taken 2 showers and I feel like I can still smell it. I don't know if my wife will ever kiss me again. PSA to my dog owner homies out there, I am the ass away from you! Exclamation mark. TL, doctor, expressed my dog's anal glands and took a face full of putrid rotten fish stinking ass juice from her butt. Aim the butt away from you, yaw. Edit. First of all, I'm glad I could make so many people laugh. But stop giving this awards, you friggin' weirdos. Secondly, thank you to those who expressed some concern over the nature of the ass juice. We have contacted our vet and know what to watch for when it comes to the BB's butt. Also, on the note of the dog tax, here is the little angel herself. Anal glands are effing disgusting to express. I have a high tolerance for gross animal fluids from my time working as a vet tech assistant, thankfully, but honestly there are few things that smell worse than anal glands or that linger longer in the air. RIP op, I wish you the best. Oh my god, your dog took ass spray to a whole another level. I regret everything. You sir have been baptized. It happens to everyone in the veterinary field. If you don't get anal gland juice on you then you haven't worked with dogs enough. Welcome. You are now one of us. One of the vets I worked with used a syringe with a thin plastic tube instead of the needle to flush out some infected anal glands and yes it got in her mouth. She took it like a champ though she's been a vet for a while. Anal glands are also a defense mechanism, used when they are scared or stressed. This happens often at vet clinics and no it doesn't just come out of your scrubs. You either change your spray Febreze and endure it the rest of the day. One of the most disgusting things I ever saw. Couple was walking on a trail and passed me as I was taking pictures. They turned a corner. Then their dog came around the corner, stopped at a pile of horse crap and gobbled down a golf ball sized duke. Then he took off after the couple. Around the turn and now the couple is back in sight. The woman kneeled down for some reason, to put the leash on, and she was kissing the dog on the mouth and getting her face licked. I'd kinda be happy with the horse shit. My last German Shepherd loved her some cat shit. She knew where to find it, in the neighbor's mulch. She'd stick it between her back teeth and cheek like his the was best chore ever and she was a southern boy. Then she'd come breath on you like guess what I found? Hot. Yeah, dog owners, this is one of those things you should pay your vet to do. I honestly can't think of a better example of money well spent. My wife used to have a Shar-Pei that had anal gland issues. We were at the vet once and the vet offered to show my wife how to express the glands. My wife asked how much the vet charges to do it. The vet says $10. My wife replied, nah, we're good. Today I fucked up by asking my neighbor if his wife has pepperoni nipples. This happened a few months ago. I, 24M, still live in my parents' house. My neighbor, let's call him Jim, /35M, has lived next door to us with his wife and children for around 5 or 6 years. We had never really interacted with each other, spare a wave or a hello, until this past summer. We ended up getting along well. We would shoot the shit, toss some disc, throw a baseball around. Things like that. One day Jim was sitting on his front lawn with another neighbor of ours drinking a beer. I asked if I was welcome to come hang out and crack a couple open. They said yes, and this is where my fuck up happens. I was a mere 2 beers in, feeling a little awkward trying to hold a conversation with 2 men, born in completely different generations and with completely different upbringings than me. The topic shifted to food somehow, and Jim mentioned that his wife loved pizza. He followed this up by saying his wife was totally a pizza person. My young, shitlord mind, imagined a slice of pizza with human facial features and slices of pepperoni as nipples. So in my naive attempt to add humor to the conversation, I said, a pizza person, huh? Does that mean she has like, pepperoni nipples? The brief silence that followed felt like an eternity. Jim retorted by saying, come on man, that's my wife you're talking about. I fell silent, and hastily finished my beer. Needless to say, our interactions since then have been few and very brief. His young children still gleefully say hi to me when they're all outside. Every time I am reminded of the shame I felt when I insinuated that their mother has pepperoni nipples. Too long didn't read, drank some beers with some neighbors I barely knew. One said his wife is a pizza person. Imagined a personified pizza slice in my head, and asked if his wife has pepperoni nipples. Relatively minor fuck up, but we don't talk much anymore. Send him a heart-shaped pizza as an apology, complete with notes, sorry I suggested your wife has pepperoni nipples. Ask that the pizza have only 2 slices of pepperoni on it. Dude, you just gave me my first genuine laugh in a good while. Thank you. This is some quality cringe. It was a bad comment, but he called you on it. You're either going to feel weird about it until one of you moves, or you suck it up and go over and admit your mistake. Just say you didn't mean it like that and you've felt awful about it ever since. He's probably cool and ready to have another beer after you man up. Do it for yourself. Good luck, brother. It wasn't meant as an insult. I find pepperoni nipples really hot and I was trying to compliment your wife. I'm sorry you took it the wrong way. Older guy here. 1. If it really bothered him, the response would have been more harsh. That's my wife was just a warning to cool it. Nothing more. 2. The suggested take him a 060 with an apology is a good one. Then never speak of it again. 3. He's married, working, got kids and just trying to get through his busy life with some enjoyable time. Have another porch beer with him and all will be fine. This. I'm an older guy too, and if some kid made an obvious awkward comment, I'd be cool if he came by with a case and we started talking about other shit. Today I fucked up by forgetting my name in the NICU. My daughter was just born a couple days ago, but has been in the NICU for some relatively minor issues. So I come up to visit her as I do several times a day, but this morning it's a nurse I've never seen before, and I'm a dad she's never seen before. I'm with my daughter nuzzling her and holding her head when this nurse rushes over and asks who I am. It might be a good time to point out that daughter looks a lot like mom, Asian, and not at all like dad, white. So she asks who I am, and I pause for a solid 3 seconds, before looking down at my name tag and saying my first name like a dope. Not dad, not the baby's last name, just my first name. We're supposed to have identification bands with a number matching the baby. Well, I took mine off because of course I've memorized the 5-digit number. And when you phone to get in, if you know it, it's not like you have to show it. So then she's pretty obviously suspicious and starts checking all of baby's information, and understandably checks the number I give her, all the while keeping a watchful eye on me. But after confirming with the front desk of the unit all was fine. I guess I can be glad they exercise some suspicion in such a situation. And if it wasn't me, I would want to know they could make that determination. But it's awkward being scrutinized as a kidnapper. Too long didn't read, forgot my name, no matching band for baby. Randomed me looks like a creep/kidnapper. Pics for those interested. Edit. Thank you all for the warm felt awards. And I especially feel for everyone who has had their dear babies in NICU for any amount of time. Seriously, I can only begin to imagine what some of you have gone through. My son was severely jaundiced, and when he was transferred to the children's hospital from the maternity wing, his father wasn't present. The nurses later refused his father access because they assumed, due to the color of my sick child's skin, that his dad had to be black. When my son was born, he was in NICU for almost 2 weeks. My ex and I were adopting him, and the hospital only give out 2 bracelets. The bio mom kept one, and my ex, whose name was on the adoption, got the other bracelet. Bio mom and my ex had the whole situation set up with one hospital, but when she went into labor, she didn't have time to make it there. So there we are, in a not so progressive hospital in a conservative area, having to explain to every nurse that I was the partner of the woman adopting, not just some stranger hanging around. Reminds me of a similar-ish story. When my nephew was born, I went to the hospital to meet him. Get to the maternity ward and the nurse says, "Why are you here?" Like the smart-ass I am, I said, "I'm here to steal a baby," followed by, "I'm just kidding. I'm here to see sister-in-law's name." They let me in and I'm visiting with her. Baby isn't around. All of a sudden a code pink goes off and the cops are immediately in our room checking on me. Turns out a nurse was bringing my nephew to see us and she pulled the cart thing too far off the wall, which sets the alarm off. Learned my lesson about that one. Ended up in security explaining that I wasn't planning to kidnap my nephew with this nurse for over an hour. Took my still a few weeks to trust me watching him alone. Oh man, never take off the band until you take your baby home. When my mother was a teenager, she had a horse that got spooked, bucked and kicked her right in the face. She was in the hospital for a long time recovering, but when she was initially admitted and coherent, they kept asking her what her birthday was and she kept saying June 7th every time they asked, and they would go and then come back later to ask the same question. She found it quite annoying for a while, and eventually she looked on her armband or chart or something that had her info on it that said her birthday was June 8th. And she tried to tell the nurses that was not her birthday. They eventually called my grandpa and he realized he had gotten her birthday wrong when she was admitted. So for days they thought my mom had a concussion or memory loss or something, when my grandpa had simply forgotten her birthday. At least you forgot your name. When my great-grandpa went to fill in the registry forms for his daughter, he forgot what they had been calling her since she was born, Gloria, so just went, "Oh well, Pauline will do," so named her that. His wife was not impressed,